what's up, everyone? I'm Giovanni Brousseau. This is Petersburg Solution, and yeah, I kind of wasn't live the first time I played that intro, so sorry about that. It
Oh,
sounded
I
so
got to see it the second time. It looks so cute. Thank
but
you.
this is okay. All right, so this is Mr. Ray, and some of you should know him, as he was on College Hill a few years ago, and is currently on Love and Hip Hop
15 years ago.
Hollywood. Don't
Yes.
listen. We're close in age. I think you've got me by a couple years. Just hearing 15 years, I've stopped saying things were 10 years ago, a little while ago. So
I
that's
don't
been a
look my
tough one to
age, so
swallow.
that's why I don't mind. I don't mind saying I graduated from college in 2006 because I don't look my age. Now, there's some folks that look way older than me that graduated before me, but I'm glad that I still look youthful.
Well, go back to Virginia State.
I'm very excited about. Let me just clarify with everybody. I'm going to grad school online. I would not physically be in Petersburg. I still have my obligations here in LA, but I will be
That works.
taking online classes this spring at Virginia State University, getting my master's in media management. Um, I was so excited when I got the email. I got it on Monday. Unfortunately, I lost a dear friend of mine here in LA, Natalie DeSalle, that was in BAPS, and
I'm sorry to
my
hear that.
mind was just on her and her family that whole day, even though I had got that email that morning. But it was just about her. And the next day, I was like, "We're not going to mourn." I know she'd be super excited, and I just said, "Okay, let's just share this news and just pick everybody's spirit up," because it was a really dark day for a lot of my immediate circle, and I had been talking about going back to school for a couple of years now, and I just COVID finally gave me the push. Like, what if we have to sit at home for another year and we don't get to film another season of Love and Hip Hop? I'm not fit to
Right.
sit at home and just have 2 years sitting at home of doing nothing. Now,
Nothing.
granted, they paid us to sit at home, but again, I just don't want to sit at home and wasting time. I could be getting degrees, so I decided I would take that leap of
Right.
faith, and I got accepted, and I'm ready to start in the spring.
Yes, which is amazing. And look, I have to say that when we first received, or I was told that you had sent a message about speaking to us, literally my first reaction was, "What the hell possessed him to do that?" Probably
Well,
because
you.
I assumed you were out in LA, and I said, he's not thinking about any of us here." So, and I followed you for some time on social media, and even had sort of, poked your brain from another account. And yeah, I was surprised. So I'm glad that you are, giving your alma mater some attention.
Well, I've been promoting Virginia State University since I graduated. I mean, College Hill was named after Virginia State. Um, I've been wearing orange and blue on my back since I left Petersburg to move to Los Angeles. I've lived in DC. I've lived in Atlanta. I've lived in New York. I've always represented Virginia State everywhere I've gone. So, yeah, I'm
Very good.
excited. It's good to go
And
back
the
and
degree
then do your double
you're
major.
going for, right? I know that you're going for media management.
That I am going for media management. It fits right in with what I'm working on and what I do in my real life anyway. What they don't show on the show, but yes, I said, why not get my master's in this? Because at this point, I've been out of school for 15 years. So if I do decide I want to go work at a label again, or I want to go work at a TV
Right.
network or somewhere, I need to compete with these younger kids, my nieces and nephews' age. So I'm just trying to stay ahead of the curve or with the curve. I don't want to get
Right.
left behind. You know.
I know. I hear that. I say all the time that I refuse to be outdone by kids that are, 18 and 19 years old.
Well, it's
So
not
they're
even
able to
about
do
being
it.
out. It's not even about being outdone. It's more so you
I
want
know.
to
I'm
still
horribly
be in the
competitive.
conversation. You still want to be in the
Right.
conversation. You don't want somebody to say, "Oh, they don't know what they're talking about." So no, I said, let me just do this.
Right. But I have to say, as far as your background, I mean, there's some people who would say that, you've been on BET, WeTV, VH1, might have missed missed one or two. And so they would say that, you're already in the position that people are, they're fighting for. So, what else would there be to learn? So what exactly is it that you are trying to get out of this degree? Because I do know that you have your PR firm.
Hmm.
And so
Social
it does
status.
sound like, yes,
This is just
that you're
more so for
trying
me
to.
sharpening my skills. I want to sharpen my skills,
Mhm.
refresh a couple things. Things change, especially with television and media. Things change every day, every week, every hour. I mean, every hour there's a new app coming out. So there's nothing wrong with going back, getting a little
Right.
refresher, getting caught up, and learning something new. I might learn something new, but the number one reason why I really am I want to pursue this and do this at this particular time. My older niece, I have 8 nieces and nephews. The older four saw me graduate from Virginia State.
Okay.
I have a new batch. I have four young ones from the ages 9 on down to 2 years old,
Oh.
and I would like for them to see Uncle Ray graduate. I want them to see me walk across the stage. I want them to remember that, and they know that this is something to work towards. Because your little kids always want to do what you want, what they see you doing. And my nieces and nephews love me, and I
Right.
love them to death. So I definitely wanted to see the younger four to see me graduating physically. I wanted them to physically be there, see me getting my degree, so that they know that mommy got it, Uncle Ray got it, Papa got it. Like I want them to see. I want to be an example for them as well. So I thought that was really important. Then it's a master's at that, so I definitely
Yeah.
wanted them to see that.
Right. And I have to say, just as far as you honing in on your skills and focusing on the business aspect of what you do.
Hmm.
Because I do know that you had mentioned in another interview that you do a lot, and so you had work on other networks while you were on
Hmm.
Love and Hip Hop, but unfortunately,
Hmm.
we weren't able to see that.
Yeah, we couldn't
For
show. They couldn't
contractual
show
reasons.
what I did. For contractual reasons, they could not show what I was actually doing. So we had to focus on some things that I'd rather not focus on. There really was of no purpose to me. But hey, it's TV. I'm there. I'm a team sport. But if you really follow me in real life, you did know that I created
Right.
3 shows for WeTV, had a talk show, and did great things. And I love that experience. And yeah, it's been a journey, and I've learned so much. But I just sometimes not in favor of the portrayal that I get on Love and Hip Hop, which is okay because you can't fit everybody's life on that 1 hour show. I get it. You can't do that. So what they are
Right.
able to show from me, I try to make sure I do the best.
Yeah. And I wanted to mention that I'd realized that you were when you first came to the show, I believe that you were working with actually one of my other favorite cast members on the show, Hazel
Ooh.
E.
Hazel E actually was my publicist when I
Um,
first moved to Los Angeles.
yeah.
She was mine, Tierra. I met honestly, Jason Lee and Hazel E were for the first two people I met when I moved to LA when I graduated from Virginia State. She was my publicist, and he was a socialite. And yeah, I knew them before Love and Hip Hop. I knew all of those people, so it wasn't a stretch for me to be on there because at the time I was working for BET while College Hill was still airing. I worked at BET for about 3 years in the PR department there. So I met everyone. They came to Fizz. I have pictures with Fizz back in the day, Tierra. I mean, Ray J, you name it. I knew them. I knew Moniece, Masika. So when I finally moved back to LA, it wasn't a stretch for me to be on the show. Actually, when I was living in DC, Tierra Marie had actually called me about doing the first season of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, but I was anti-television. Then I was like, no, I want to use
Ah.
my degree and work for a real. I want to have a real job. And I'm watching the show like I could be in LA right now.
So I didn't know we could have had you for a few more years. I didn't know you had
You could
received
have
the offer
definitely
for
had me
the
since the
season.
beginning. So they came to. So again, they've been asked. Even when I moved to Los Angeles, I moved in August, and I got the phone call, and like 3 weeks later, like September, it was like, "Hey, are you in Los Angeles? Yes. You have to come on Live Hip Hop. What's the catch?" And here we are,
Which
four
is
years later.
amazing.
So.
Right. And yeah, I brought it up just to show that, she had a very well-rounded client, Hazel E. did.
Hazel, see, I know Hazel as Erica Adam. I know Hazel as Erica. I met her as Erica,
Yeah.
and her company was actually called Hazel Eyes PR. So yeah, so to see her transition has been interesting. Working with her was a whole different situation because I came in when things were very heated, so it wasn't the same as it was when I left.
As an
But
understatement, I'm sure.
but as of recent, we have reconnected and put all that stuff behind us. And, I've wished her and her husband and their
That's
baby
good.
Ava well. And, we communicate on social media. So I see she's doing well. So, minus that conversation interview, everything is going well.
Oh yeah, yeah, that did kind of happened. And
I
look, so
was
you
watching
mentioned
like
living
this.
in DC before,
Mhm.
but you mentioned living in DC. How long were you there?
I was in DC for 5.5 years. My father used to work
Okay.
at Amtrak. He was local rep. He started the human rights and diversity stuff. Like my dad was a big wig at Amtrak. He was. I could say my dad was that. He was that guy at Amtrak, and I was like, Daddy, I don't want to go to no Amtrak. But I was at a point in my life where I just was not satisfied with what I was doing. And I always knew that Amtrak was the option in the back of my mind, but I really did not know what went into working at Amtrak. That was a uniform, getting up at 4, 5 o'clock in the
Right.
morning. I mean, working in all kind of weather conditions, snow, rain. I was just like, this ain't for me. But it taught me time management. It taught me humility. It taught me my interpersonal skills. It sharpened my people skills, talking to major executives. I was at one point on special assignment for like 2 years
Okay.
doing someone else's job that I applied for. They didn't give to me, by the way. But they had me doing this person's job, like going around the country trying to get more African American ridership on the train. And that was rewarding for me for a little bit until I was like,
Oh, I
I'm
didn't
gonna
know
go
that
to
part.
LA. Yeah, I've worked it. I didn't really talk. Well, we can't really promote that we work at Amtrak. We
I
can't
mean, I
take
brought
pictures
that
in our
up.
uniform. Yeah, we can't take pictures in our uniform, put them on
Right.
social media for
I,
for reasons.
right. I
But
knew I
yeah, it
did,
was
but
an
I
interesting
brought it up as far as
time.
sharing that you had a corporate background.
That was my corporate background. Yes, I worked with the corporate communications department over there at BET, and I did PR as well on this, as well as my regular job. I was on special assignment at Amtrak doing PR as well. It got a little sticky with Amtrak. I was in my feelings a little bit because I was qualified for this senior PR job, and because I was new, I was black, and I was gay, openly gay, and on the railroad. And then because my dad used to work there, they thought I was getting special treatment, but I was really qualified for
Uh,
the job. And then I'm gonna say it. They gave this job for African American outreach to a white girl and had me do her job on special assignment. I'm gonna put it out there. And I just
that's
finally I just
always
was
amazing when that happens.
and I just was over it. I was just like, I'd rather be working and doing something that satisfies myself. Because I said right now,
Right.
they gave the job to her and I'm doing her work and she's doing credit for it. So I was like, let me just go to LA, see what happens, Lord. And here we are.
Yes, and again, as I said, I brought that up because I've always said that Mr. Ray has quite an impressive resume. That if anyone deserves this spot on the show, you do. I think it was before we came on air that I said that you could possibly fill in for a couple people.
I
So
could, but I like the position that I have. I like adding a little spice to it.
yeah,
I don't want to be in the forefront because I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody's always like, "Oh, you're a supporting cast member. You're not a main." I don't want to be a main cast member. The people that's in the main sequence, they got the most shit, and I don't want to deal with none of that stuff they got going
you
on.
don't want that shit. I
I
hear
don't want it. I'm not interested. I'm not blasting my family. I'm not bringing up no exes. I don't want none of that stuff. So
you.
y'all can have the main and be stressed out.
I completely understand. Are you going to be on the next season?
Yes, I am. I am still a cast going on
Very
my fourth
good. You have
season. So I'm excited about that as
wow,
well.
4 seasons,
I know, right?
and you have your running shoes because I was thinking that I'm always seeing Ray running. It seems like every other scene that you're in, you are taking off from something.
Child. And they don't even let y'all know what led up to that. This makes me look like I'm erratic. No,
Of course, I love mentioning that things are edited down so we don't see it. There's dinners where the literally the video starts with drinks flying, and I'm like, well, no one ever talks about how long did it take everyone to show up for dinner? The first
I
person's
was
been sitting there for 2.5 hours.
Love and Hip Hop is
I would be fighting too.
I have never been in an atmosphere or an environment like Love and Hip Hop, but I will say that it's very exciting, it's very fast paced, and it's very fun. And if you're not quick witted and quick on your feet, you could get caught slipping. I've been caught slipping before. Uh, I mean, everybody on that show has gotten caught slipping. Whether it's mine has always been escalated to be very big, as you see, but they like the reaction of it. That's what this show is built on: reaction. Your reaction to the drama that you're dealing with in the adversity, and how do you deal with it, and how do you move forward and still be professional. And I know the show gets a bad rep sometimes, but honestly, every year there is a learning lesson within the mess. With all the mess that goes on, there is an underlying message, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't regret doing this show. I don't regret anything that's happened on the show. I mean, I've learned from every situation, whether people thought it was bad or good. And yeah, I think it shaped me as the person that is here today. Because this Mr. Ray here today is not Mr. Ray that was there season 4 when I started. Like, I know how it works now. Like, oh, bitch, you won't
I'm
get me this
sure.
time.
I mean, I like it because, and there are those who don't understand why I do. I said because I love seeing the ins and outs of people's of their careers, ins and outs of the industry. And
And I,
even
yeah.
though it might be a little dramatized, this
Mhm.
does give some type of insight, on you all's lives. And everyone earns their paycheck.
It's not
That's what I
fake.
always say.
It's not fake. I know people always say, "Oh, Love and Hip Hop is scripted." I can't speak for any other city but Hollywood, and I can tell you the stuff that goes on here is real. Like, we hear about it off camera before it even comes up in conversation. So we already know that's we're like, that's crazy. And then when it comes up in the scene, well, the reason we're not reacting to it as dramatically as some people think we should is because we already know this is happening. So it's like,
Right.
woo, which way is this going to go today? But I can tell you,
Right.
it's not fabricated. It's not fake. There unfortunately are some people, not my coworkers, but there are people who are around my coworkers, and they befriend you and they make you think that you're their team Ray or team whoever, and they ride or die for you. And I'm here for you to support you if you need me. And you put them on a, not that you put them on the spot, we get an opportunity to show their loyalty, and they flip on you. And so that's why sometimes it comes up like, oh, the show is fake. Why would she be friends with her when she knows this, that, and the third? And you have to understand, when we're
Right.
filming, we're in this bubble where it's only us, production, and the cast. We really don't get time to see our family, our real friends, or whatnot. We're really in this bubble filming, in this dramatic, chaotic world of filming and whatnot. And sometimes it gets the best of you because sometimes you hear something like, "Damn, that could be real. She could be telling me the truth," and you react off of that because again, we're filming and we're only in this bubble, and this is all we see. This is all we
Right.
know. And then also on the top of your head, like, bitch, I'm not gonna let her talk to me like that on camera, and it makes you respond even faster. And that's where some of us slip up because we end up saying something we might not supposed to say, or we exaggerate something. But I love it. It's been a fun, interesting experience thus far. I will say that.
Yes, and going back to how you mentioned working for Amtrak and possibly being looked at a certain way, being black and gay. One thing that I can appreciate about seeing you on Love and Hip Hop is the representation that you have, being not only just a black gay cast member, but one that is not in a sidekick role. You're actually bringing
Yeah.
some substance to the table, and have even had a chance to show some of your skills um,
Hmm.
on camera, such as
Yeah.
the Mystica party
Hopefully
setup.
this. Hopefully this. I mean, no, that party was not my setup. That first season with Masika and that event was that
Oh,
was
sorry
not
for
my setup.
wording it that way.
A lot of our events,
But you get the point.
yeah, yeah. I didn't want y'all to think I just put a tablecloth over that and thought to call that event. That was not my setup. No,
Right.
no, but it's been a. I was so excited to show my company off on television because this was a dream that I had in 2008 to start a company with my business partner Pam Baker. So to see where it started in 2008 and who we were working with to now, we're on VH1 and we're getting this exposure. And every event, I made sure you saw that step and repeat because imaging is everything. You saw that social status logo every event,
I
whether
know that's right.
I got into the argument or someone else got into the argument. You saw that logo every episode that I was on, and that's all I was worried about was
Yeah, I did notice.
representation.
Yes, I pay
Ah!
attention to the step and repeats.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and just like in comparison, like I look at Brandon Deshazar from Real Housewives of Atlanta, and he gave a rant once on Facebook about feeling that he was being used as a, as an accessory on the show to Black women as a gay man.
Okay,
And so I was just saying that
I know
I know
Brandon,
how
but
others how others feel, being the Black gay guy on television, and not saying, that might not be reflective of, how he feels now. Again, this was a couple years ago, I think like two or so. Um,
I only have one
go
thing to
ahead.
say about that. I love Brandon and Kenya very much in real life.
I do as well.
But Brandon knew what his role
I'm
was
just
when they
thinking
asked him to come on the show. It's called The Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's about women. So when you as a gay man come on there and your girlfriend is a cast member, you're coming on as her what? Her sidekick. So I don't understand why people take these jobs and these roles and then they complain about it later. Like that makes no sense to me. Hey, no, I'm working.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's closed today? Okay. So yeah, so I don't think he understood what the job was. But again, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, can't say I argue with that. Now, to
Mm-mm.
my understanding, you originally wanted to be a school teacher some time ago when you first went to Virginia State.
Yeah, that was oof. I thought I was gonna be an English education major, and then they said you gotta take elementary statistics, and I was like, do what? I was like, major change.
And I thought
So,
of it just because, all these years later, and having social status, the
hmm
networks that you've appeared on, and Roland Martin, by the way, which I have to shout out,
hmm
who I absolutely love, by the way, he's literally one of my favorite people. But, after you've done all of these things, I'm pretty sure there's some people who might want to know how you did it. So would you ever be opposed to, say, coming back and doing some type of class slash mentorship or something for the upcoming generation and what might want to know again how you got to where you are?
Not anytime soon. No, I don't think that I would be ready for that just yet. Coming into the school and speaking to seniors and mass comm, the seminar classes, that's fine. But as far as teaching a course, I definitely want to get my master's first, and I want to be credentialed. So I don't want anybody questioning me about what I'm saying. But
Okay.
I would rather do that when later, like in my 50s or my 60s, when I'm retired. I'm not doing reality TV anymore because I want to be able to. What I say to the people, I want them to be able to focus on that, not focus what happened last Monday night.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Okay. Okay. That's fair. They'll actually be able to pay attention to what you're saying
yeah.
and not
Because
have
even
that
right
be the subject of
now,
all the questions.
well, I think that a lot of us run into the do reality TV that still have real jobs. There's not that many of us. But when we go to apply for jobs or we go have these networking events and we try to actually network and do work, the conversation always goes to love and hip hop. It never stays on the actual business.
Uh,
So that's always like a pet peeve of mine. Like if I'm coming here to do business, let's just talk business. We can talk about that later. But typically it's, oh my God, well, how's Princess? Oh my God, how's
right.
Monique? Oh my God, how? And it's like, girl, we here to do this job or what? I don't run a fan club. So, but that comes with the territory. I get it. And I'm never
Right.
disrespectful or rude to anybody, but you know, that's how that goes.
Right. And as I said, I've always been impressed with the fact that, you're someone who's actually worked. You've actually held jobs and some that have been quite impressive. So,
I got W
whenever I have a chance
2s.
to mention what people do, um, right, I point out that, this is a guy who knows the stuff. And so,
hmm
being as though you're, headed back to your HBCU for a second round, I
hmm
understand that you have created a board game dedicated
Yes.
to HBCUs.
Yeah, it's called
Would
Yardopoly. It was supposed to come out this year, but unfortunately, due to COVID, the manufacturing company that I was going to use, they actually unfortunately closed, and so they weren't able to produce the game. And then COVID happened, and I was like, oh my God. So what are we going to do? And then I couldn't find, and nothing else is really open right now. So I just said, okay, Lord, I'm gonna wait and see what's going to happen with this. I'm not giving up on it. and we're actually closing a deal now to find a new manufacturing company to make the game and produce the game and distribute the game. I was
Wow.
looking for a black owned company. If I can find one, I will definitely use them. But Yardopoly is definitely coming out. It's a celebration of HBCUs and tradition, and it's just a good time. I've enjoyed making the game. So it should definitely be out next year. And then, like I said, when I was making this game, I had no idea that I was going to be going back to grad school at Virginia State. So I really believe in God's timing with going to
Tied in
grad school,
perfectly.
the College Hill reboot, and now the game is ready to come out. So I'm definitely excited.
I mean, it's amazing, and I have to say, you are the only other reality star, other than like the president, who that I know of has created a board game in the last 30 years. So that's really a big deal.
I'm excited. I've had this idea since like 2017. Oh, my hair is sitting all over my head, y'all. I'm sorry. I've had that idea since 2017, and I would start working on it. I stop, and I try to figure out, well, how is this going to work, and how is this going to go, and what's this piece going to be? Because there's a lot that really goes into a Monopoly game. I didn't realize that
I
from
can imagine.
creating the board spaces. The graphics took the longest. Shout out to Flex Graphics. He's a Q from Texas Southern. He's been doing my graphics for me. Um,
Ah,
it's just been an amazing adventure, and I've learned a lot more about HBCUs, stuff that I didn't know already. So it's been fun.
I
I
mean,
had to
it's
move
good. And
outside. They was
so,
about to clean
as
in there.
someone, sorry about that. Yeah, well, we only have a few more minutes, but
Oh no, they were they
as
were
someone who didn't,
cleaning.
okay. And
Hmm.
sorry, I'm dealing with the delay. And by the way, sidebar, production had a sense of humor because a mug was brought in here with something on it that I didn't see. And so I'm not going to say what it is. You all, whoever saw it, you can, laugh amongst yourselves. Um, I, I don't know if you noticed, like I traded coffee mugs while I was sitting here. But anyway,
What's on it? What's on it?
uh, I had a cup where I could see the back of it. He brought a mega cup in here. I didn't know.
Oh, it's a MAGA cup. Oh God, they sell those in
Yes, and like I
Petersburg.
said, I saw the back of it, and I'm it didn't come from there. Actually,
Okay.
I had, and I forgot. I worked for someone who actually had given it to me um, uh, as a joke before to like
Uh
antagonize me inside of an office some years ago. So
huh.
I got punked twice. Anyway, um, so yes, I mean the board game it's amazing. As someone who did not attend in HBCU, I mean it's I want to be first in line just for the sake of being able to partake in the culture, just like
Hmm.
Beyonce with oh God, yeah, Beachella. She
Yes.
said that was her, that was her HBCU experience in having
Hmm.
the show. So this is, this would also be
Yeah.
mine. So
And that's
I'm
what I wanted
patiently
the
waiting
game. I
for the
wanted the
release
game to
date.
bring all black college students together, whether you went to a PWI, community college, wherever wherever you went. I want everyone to be able to celebrate black college tradition, and um, it's the experience. It's the ultimate HBCU experience from the start of the fall semester all the way. The board goes all the way around to graduation through summer. So it
Mhm.
really, if you remember your college days, this board game will take you through the whole year, from fall to fall break to homecoming to the spring step show to the cotillion for Mr. and Mrs. of the university to graduation to summer school. So it's really fun because I really wanted people to feel like, especially alumni playing it, that you're back in school again almost. I really wish
Yeah,
it was out right now during the pandemic. I think it would have gotten a lot of leeway. But again, I believe in God's timing, so it's going to be even better with
yeah,
this College Hill reboot and me going to Virginia State again online. So again, I hope everybody receives it well. I hope it becomes a
I'm
timeless
excited.
classic game for everybody because there's not a lot of black board games out there for us or for our younger generation to learn about HBCUs. Honestly.
Right, absolutely. And so, the first time that I had spoken to you was actually on another social media account. I had created a group called Blacks in Petersburg, just because being in this area, and I'm from DC, I spent 17 years there, and this
Hmm.
is a culture shock for me, sort of. I've been here for 3 years. I'm still adjusting, But and so obviously you know the difference. I'm adjusting every
Yes.
day, but I it just felt that it was important to try to bring the Black electorate together, both just for the culture, whether it's sharing music, having us to discuss what our community issues are, politics,
Hmm.
because just, I mean, ironically, I look online and I said, why do I feel like everything involving this city, I don't see people that look like the majority. That's the nicest way I can put it. So I'm just saying, I,
One thing I love about
but,
Virginia is the people that come out of Virginia, whether it's Trey Songz, Chris Brown, Missy, Pharrell, the Clips, Dominique the Diva that's in DC on radio, D'Angelo, Arthur Ashe. I love it's a solid group of people that all have left some type of impact on whatever during their era and their time. And I honestly just want to be in the
yeah.
company of those kind of people. I know I'm not an athlete, I'm not a singer, I'm not a dancer. I'm getting into acting. But as far as reality TV goes, it's me from Virginia. It's me. And it's me from Richmond
Yeah.
specifically. And I just want to put my city on the map. I want to show other people that are in Richmond still, younger and older or the same age, that it doesn't matter if you're born in 804, 202, 313, whatever. You can still make it out and you can still be impactful to your community. Because growing up in Richmond, I never thought I'd be on TV, or that wasn't something that was normal. It was like either you're gonna go to high school, go to college,
Really.
stay in Petersburg, or come back to Richmond and work. And I was like, that ain't gonna be me. I gotta do something else. This ain't it. I was like, this ain't it. I know I'm bigger than this. I'm not saying I'm bigger than my city. I knew that what my
Yeah.
calling was not in Richmond. I
And
knew that it was not in
aspiration, yeah.
Richmond. So, you know. But I forever love 804 for always and forever.
Yes, and so for this College Hill reboot, are you that close with the rest of the original cast that you had from 15 years ago? This is the last time I'm saying it.
Yeah, my Virginia State cast. I still speak with everybody. We have a group chat. We talk regularly. Just was on FaceTime the other night with Deidre. She's expecting her baby any day now. So we all pretty much still stay in contact. And
Okay,
prior to the reboot
very good.
announcement, and even with the reboot announcement, it's gotten some mixed reviews. I've seen online some people. But see, the thing is, BET has not officially said anything to anybody, so I really can't comment about too much. But I think that it's a good time for
Mhm.
HBCUs to be back on network television, getting some exposure. And I you just have to watch and see what's gonna happen with that.
I can't wait. I mean, those were high school days for me. So
Mhm.
it brings back a lot of memories. So I mean,
Mhm.
I absolutely can't wait. And
Mhm.
yeah, any chance that you might be making any type? Well, you said you can't really mention it, but
I
making
can't
any
say
type of appearance
anything
for the
like
new
that.
cast? No, okay. I
I
tried.
you not finna get me in trouble. Have Santa Claus bringing coals to my house. But I'm definitely gonna say that I have been a champion of trying to get BET to bring College Hill back. I've done
Okay.
other projects with BET over the years. But if you follow me on social media, I always celebrate my start. BET gave me my start. I will always be appreciative of Tracy Edmonds and BET for selecting me and Virginia State for approving me. Like I said, I appreciate it. That's where I started. We are the blueprint. I'm glad it's back. I hope that the new if it is back, I'm not saying it is back. I just hope that the
Hmm.
show stays true to what it was about originally, and the new generation embraces it the way that the old generation did.
Yes, I mean, and so, and just the fact that you are, promoting your alma mater, and
We were
just
the
the
best
show that's
season.
dedicated.
We was the best season. I don't care
You
nobody say we was the
were.
best season. We were. We were the best season.
I mean,
No, I
and
love all of
promoting
them
a
though.
show that promoting a show, that prioritizes education. Out of stars that are out at the moment, I think that
Hmm.
Megan the Stallion's the only other person that's really promoting or really talking about college, at least at all, right
Yeah.
now.
If she
So
talking about
it's
college, she
good
talking
seeing
about her
people
foot.
that are She was talking about the college before the
Oh,
foot.
okay. And like I said, and I applaud Megan for
But
I applaud her for being in school and doing her career and maintaining. I don't care if she had a 1.1, a 2.2,
and being
2.7.
able
The
to
girls,
walk around.
woo, that made me roll up this rooftop. No, I applaud Megan for still continuing her education at an HBCU and still being one of the top artists in the world right now. So I applaud her. Like I said, I don't really care about what her GPA is as long as she finishes. It just shows you this is another product of the HBCU, another one to the list. So, I'm happy for her and I'm glad that she is an HBCU student and promoting, that she's working and, online. She's actually one of the reasons why I was like, you know what, I might can do it. I ain't Megan Thee Stallion, but she's
Oh
touring the
wow.
world and she's still able to maintain her
Right.
GPA and be in school online. So I can do the same thing doing
Right.
less than her. So yeah, she was one of my motivating factors for that.
Okay. Very good. And as I said, we just don't see entertainers that are in school at the same time, or at least talking about it. So I mean that's for the education community that is a big deal. And
I think
as
there's an
someone
NBA
who
player too, right? Isn't there an NBA player at Winston-Salem right now? Chris Paul,
probably
I think.
I can
I think it's Chris Paul. I think I'm saying his name right. Chris.
I'm not
It's an NBA athlete
sure.
at Winston-Salem. I know that.
I do know there's a Chris Paul.
Okay.
Okay.
He
But
cute though, but I know he at Winston-Salem.
you one of my that he is. I know the cute part. Wasn't aware about the college, but one of my main things that I do. I mean, the city of Petersburg takes up so much of my time, and a lot of my work involves trying to paint the city in a better light. So anytime that I see someone from this area, that's doing something amazing, we're absolutely on it. Which is why, I mean, this is much different than what I thought of like a year or so ago. I think when we almost 2 years ago when we created this project, where I saw
Hmm.
you online, I found out. Well, I had forgotten that you went to Virginia State. Don't ask me why.
No,
Watched
it's
the
been
show and
so
everything.
long. It's been that long. Like it's almost been 20 years. It's crazy.
Look, I told you about the 15. We're not going to jump up to 20 now. Look, this has to stop. But no, I just remember, seeing you online and just, mentioning that, okay, this is someone from this area, and doing some occasional highlights, for conversation's sake. And,
Hmm.
I was thinking in my head, I said, is there any chance that he, either might visit the area again, do something around here? And lo and behold, I see the news story about you returning to school. So,
Yes,
congratulations.
I
I wish
am.
you the
Thank
best of
you.
luck.
Thank you. And I also wanted to shout out my niece. I have four grown nieces. One of my nieces actually graduated from Virginia State in 2014 herself. So I want to
Oh,
shout her out.
wow.
What's up, Taylor?
Hey,
She graduated from Virginia State herself. So again, I just want to encourage everybody support HBCUs. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. And try to
can't
just
say
be
that
as
enough.
encouraging as you can during the holidays because it's been really tough this year. And I know everybody, Christmas time is when everybody literally wants to be at home. And I know a lot of people cannot travel, can't be with their family due to different things. And I just encourage everyone to stay positive and try to, keep in contact with everyone, friends and family when you can, because it's just very uncertain. We don't really know what's going on with COVID, and it's taking a lot of stuff from us that we took for granted, like going to homecoming, going, sitting in restaurants, sitting in lounges, and just
Oh,
doing
yeah.
things to interact with people. So I appreciate you having this platform, so I'm able to talk to people that I might not ever get to see for a year or two now because we can't do forums and
Yeah.
things on campus. So I appreciate you for having this
Right.
platform.
Sure thing. We always love having you. And so, Mr. Ray, could you let everyone know where you can be found online for the two people out there who don't know already?
My name is Mr. Ray. It's Missterray. Blue check gang across the board. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Yes.
Hit me up. Like I said, I've been I'm on Clubhouse. Have you downloaded Clubhouse yet? The app Clubhouse?
I have not. Someone just told me about it and said that she's going to send me an invitation as soon as she could. So I will be
Okay, well,
on.
Okay, well, Clubhouse is on there as well. But yeah, hit me up, guys. I'm here to talk. I'm quarantining so that I can act like I'm busy and didn't see the email. Um, no, I just appreciate everybody honestly, truly supporting me from 2006 to now. Good, bad, and different, embarrassing highlights, whatever. I'm just here growing and learning, and hopefully I can be a. I know I'm a mess sometimes, but there's always a message in the mess. There's always a message in the mess. So I appreciate everybody
I like
supporting me,
that.
especially that's actually the name of my memoir. You got some tea right there. It's coming out next year.
Wait a minute, I forgot. I thought, have you announced a memoir? I thought I saw something about it. No.
No, you have not seen anything
I
online
was
about that.
wondering if you
You
were
just
going to
got it.
write, I
That's
was wondering if you were
being
going to
just
write a
started.
book just based on that WeTV intro that you had. I felt like that might have been a little prophecy that you were thinking about it.
Um, I just started the process with the publishing company and the writer that I'm working with about a week ago now. We just got the contracts signed for it, so we just
Oh,
started working a week
wow.
ago. We've already knocked out two chapters, and
What?
I'm liking how it looks. We're working on the cover now. I got a photo shoot. Actually, I'm flying out tomorrow to Atlanta, and I'll be doing my book photo shoot in Atlanta next week before I go to Virginia for Christmas. But it's
You
not an
got everyone booked and
autobiography.
busy.
It's not an autobiography. I want to make that clear. It's not because my story's not done. It's
Okay.
still being written, but this is just a memoir from childhood up until this current point.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's
That's
more
very
so like
exciting.
it's more so like an inside look to Hollywood and about branding and marketing and time management,
Hmm.
money management, good and bad decisions I've made career wise or personal. Some inside tea on some things that I was involved in that you would never know I was involved in. Names will be changed because I ain't gotta get sued. But there
I
will,
hear you.
but there will be some tea in it because again, you got to remember I worked in PR for a network, so I was there for a lot of things that people don't know that I was there for. So I have some interesting Hollywood stories to tell. Nothing incriminating, but I have a story, and there's a lot that goes into who I am and who Ray is and who Mr. Ray is, and I think once people read some things and get a better insight to some things, they might understand my personality a little bit better.
All right, very good. Mr. Ray, this was definitely a pleasure.
Thank you for having
Appreciate you being
me.
on.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And everyone, you can follow Petersburg Solution on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And until next time, I will see you all soon.
See y'all next